Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about bones of skull. We'll start our topic with introduction, and here on the side you can see the diagram of skull with different colors representing different bones. The human skull is a complex structure that is composed of 22 bones that serves to protect the brain, support facial structures, and enable functions such as chewing and speaking. These bones are categorized into cranial bones and the facial bone. Cranial bone primarily shield the brain, while the facial bone contribute to the facial structure and function. Now let's talk about the bones of skull that are cranial bones and facial bones. First we will talk about the cranial bones. The first cranial bone is the frontal bone. Here you can see in diagram the anterior bone is the frontal bone. It forms the forehead and the upper part of the eye socket, thus play a crucial role in facial structure and protecting the brain's frontal lobe. Second bone we are going to talk about is parietal bone, that is also the cranial bone. Here you can see in diagram the blue color bone that occupies the main upper region is the parietal bone. It is positioned on either side of skull. It contributes to the dome shape of the cranium and provides protection to brain's upper region. Next, at the back of skull we can see the occipital bone that contains foramen magnum, that opening through which the spinal cord connects to the brain. Further talking about the cranial bone, we have temporal bone. There you can see yellow color bone at the side of skull. It is located and it houses the auditory structure necessary for hearing and balance. Next we have a sphenoid bone that is present just anterior to the temporal bone. Here you can see in the diagram the purple color bone just anterior to the yellow color bone is a sphenoid bone, and it is often referred to as a keystone of skull because it connects multiple bones and contains the sella turcica, which holds the pituitary gland. Next we have is ethmoid bone, that is a delicate structure involved in formation of nasal cavity and the sense of smell, as it houses the cribriform plate through which olfactory nerve passes. Now let's talk about the facial bone. In facial bone we have is maxilla. The orange color bone in the diagram is the maxilla. It forms the upper jaw and is essential for facial integrity and supports the upper teeth. Next we have is mandible, that is a pink color bone just below the maxilla. It is also called as lower jaw bone, and it is the only movable bone of the skull, enabling crucial functions like chewing and speaking. Next we have is zygomatic bone. Here you can see at the side of maxilla the green color bone is the zygomatic bone, and it is commonly known as cheekbone, contributing to the facial contour and also assists in formation of eye sockets. Further talking about facial bone, we have nasal bone that forms the bridge of the nose and supports the nasal structure, while the lacrimal bone helps house the tear ducts, facilitating tear drainage. Here you can see at the anterior portion of the skull, we can see the purple bone, that is the nasal bone, and the green bone in the eye socket is the lacrimal bone. Next we have is the palatine bone that play a significant role in forming the hard palate, contributing to the separation of nasal and oral cavity. Next we have an inferior nasal conchae that assists in regulating airflow within the nasal passages, thus enhance respiratory efficiency. Next we have is vomer that forms the lower part of nasal septum and play a role in dividing the nasal cavity. And this was all about the facial bones. Now we will talk about the functional importance of the skull bones. Each skull bone has a distinct function essential for protecting the brain, shaping the face, and facilitating sensory and mechanical functions. And now we are going to talk about all of those functions, or all of those functional importance. First, frontal bone that contributes to the facial expression and structural integrity, while the parietal bone helps form the protective dome around the brain. Next we have is occipital bone that ensures secure communication between brain and spinal cord, and next we have is temporal bone that enables hearing and balance, crucial for daily interaction and movements. Next we have is sphenoid bone that is vital for structural support, forming connection with several skull bones, while the ethmoid bone that play a key role in olfactory function. Next we have is maxilla and mandible that are central to chewing and speaking. And next we have is zygomatic bone that shape facial contour and assist in eye protection, while the nasal and lacrimal bones support respiration and tear drainage. Then we have palatine bone, inferior nasal conchae, and vomer that enhance airflow and nasal function, contributing to the efficient breathing. Now let's talk about the conclusion of this lecture. Skull bones are intricately structured to protect the brain, shape the face, and enable crucial functions like chewing, speaking, and sensory processing. Each bone plays a distinct role in human anatomy, highlighting the skull's importance in daily life and medical applications. So this was all about the bones of skull. Hopefully you like the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.